Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Facts and Trivia, episode 23. Fact number 1, Paras and Parasect. Before Pokemon Red and Blue's release in North America, Paras was advertised under the name Parasite. The name was shortened to Paras to prevent a conflict from arising with the horror manga series Parasite. Because Poison-type moves were super effective against bug types in Generation 1, Paras and Parasect were the only Pokemon in existence to have 3 double weaknesses: Fire, Flying, and Poison. But beginning in Generation 3 with the introduction of Pokemon abilities, Paras and Parasect gained the Dry Skin ability, making them the only Pokemon to have a 5 times weakness to a single type, in their case, Fire. Finally, Parasect's shiny form has been altered in almost every generation since its debut. In Generation 2, shiny Parasect was entirely gold. In Gen 3, the bottom part of its body became a more brownish color. In Gen 4, the mushroom was recolored from gold to orange. And in Gen 6, shiny Parasect was completely recolored to have a yellow body and a pale red mushroom. Fact number 2, Pokemon Remakes. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are the only remakes that include every new evolution that was given to a Pokemon that previously existed, such as Kirlia, Snorunt, Roselia, and Nosepass. Fire Red and Leaf Green left out all new evolutions introduced in Gen 2, making them unobtainable until the post-game. Heart Gold and Soul Silver included some new evolutions in the new Johto Pokedex, such as Tangrowth and Yanmega, but they made it impossible to obtain Leafeon or Glaceon without trading. And even though Honchkrow and Mismagius are left out of the new Johto Pokedex, it is still possible to obtain them during Heart Gold and Soul Silver's main storyline by getting a Dusk Stone from the Pokeathlon Dome. Each remake that has been released has also set a record for the most obtainable legendary Pokemon in one game. Fire Red and Leaf Green originally set the record with 11 obtainable legendary Pokemon. Heart Gold and Soul Silver then gave players access to 19 different legendary Pokemon, setting yet another record. And finally, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire give access to 32 legendary Pokemon in-game, the most of any Pokemon game to date. Fact number 3, TMs. In Generations 1 and 2, all TMs that were given out by gym leaders were moves that no Pokemon could learn through leveling up. These TMs were the only way to teach certain moves to a Pokemon, meaning that you had to be especially careful about which Pokemon you used them on. The only exception is TM24 Thunderbolt in Pokemon Yellow. In that game, Pikachu's Gen 1 moveset was altered to replace Swift with Thunderbolt by level up. It wasn't until Generation 4 that every type had a TM of their own. In Gen 1, there were no Bug or Ghost type TMs. In Gen 2, there were none for Flying, and in Gen 3, Bug was once again absent. Brock and Falkner are the only gym leaders who did not originally give out TMs of their signature type. Brock gave out Bide, while Falkner gave out Mudslap. These were both corrected in the remakes, as Brock now gives out Rock Tomb, while Falkner gives out Roost. In Gen 6, an LGM that has been transported to Pokemon X and Y from any Gen 5 game has the ability to learn Steel Wing through TM51. This because TM51 contained Ally Switch in Gen 5, a move that LGM could learn. Because LGM's move data was not correctly updated, it can still use this TM. Out of all 100 TMs, only 11 of them have kept the same moves for every generation. These moves are Toxic, Blizzard, Hyper Beam, Solar Beam, Thunder, Earthquake, Dig, Psychic, Double Team, Fire Blast, and Rest. Fact number 4, the Abra Family. In the entire 20-year history of the Pokemon franchise, the only time that an Abra can be seen with an open eye is in its Pokemon Gold sprite. Also, Abra's Generation 4 back sprite is the only time that an Abra is seen standing. The symbols on Kadabra's body are a reference to Zener cards, which were a deck of cards printed in the early 1930s to test a person's psychic powers. So yeah, those things aren't actually Nazi symbols like Uri Geller claimed. Maybe he should do some more research before he files a lawsuit next time. Shout out to Episode 1, by the way. Alakazam only gains 90 points when Mega Evolving, unlike all other Pokemon which gain 100 points upon Mega Evolving. At first, this was thought because Alakazam was already given a 10-point boost with Special Defense stat in Gen 6, but Beedrill and Pidgeot also gain stat boosts in Gen 6, yet they also gain 100 points upon Mega Evolving, unlike Alakazam. It's possible that this was just an error, or maybe Game Freak felt that Alakazam was already powerful enough and didn't need the extra 10 points. Fact number 5, Smash Bros. Pokemon. In an interview with Super Smash Bros. Director Masahiro Sakurai, he stated that for the newest Smash Bros. Game, he actually had to begin developing Greninja for the game before Pokemon X and Y's release. Because of this, Greninja is the only Pokemon character in the Smash Bros. Games to not be picked based on popularity among the fans. Also, because Sakurai had to develop Greninja early, his knowledge on Greninja's moveset was very limited. The only move that he knew for sure the Greninja would have was Water Shuriken. Using his best inference, he decided to give Shadow Sneak and Hydro Pump as Greninja's other moves. Substitute was a pretty easy choice though, because almost every Pokemon can learn Substitute by TM. Although Mewtwo did not debut in the Smash Bros. Series until Melee, Mewtwo was originally going to be in the N64 version of Smash, but because of the console's limitations and the lack of development time, Mewtwo was left out. Many fans also believe that Lucario is meant to be a replacement for Mewtwo in Smash Bros. Brawl. However, hackers have discovered files containing player data for Mewtwo in Brawl. Towards the end of Brawl's development, focus began to shift towards completing the storyline for the Subspace Emissary, leaving Mewtwo unfinished once again. 6 other characters were also left out of Brawl. They include Dixie Kong, Dr. Mario, Roy, Toon Sheik, Toon Zelda, and one unknown character labeled as Pra-Mei. Some have thought that the last character is meant to be the tag team of Plusle and Minun, similar to the Ice Climbers duo. This is because their Japanese names are Praisel and Minun. So with Mewtwo being released for Smash Bros. 4, this means that had Mewtwo been included in both the original and Brawl, Mewtwo would have been just the 13th character to be in every Smash Bros. Game. Bowser and King Dedede were also intended to be in every game.